So when we started, I think we used to get excited about a 100k a month. Now we're averaging 330. We had a 420 a couple months back.
And we're working less to get that as well.
Good to hang, guys. So I guess the first thing is maybe just introduce yourselves for those of you who don't know these guys. So who you are, what type of work you do, where you're based, what the team is.
Dylan and Tim, we're Sparkies in Christchurch. We've got 16 guys, which at the moment is a bit top heavy, 6 in the office, 6 tradies, 4 apprentices, and we're in the process of hiring 2 more tradies and 2 more apprentices, so we're 20 pretty shortly.
Yeah.
The office is made up of, I'm GM, he's BDM / wellbeing guy. We've got ops manager, office manager, estimator, and now we've just taken on a servicing manager.
Totally good. Okay. And you're based in Christchurch, yeah?
Yeah.
Electrical. What type of work do you guys mainly do?
So when we started out, we were mostly commercial, bigger commercial. But now with this servicing division that we're sort of opening, we're trying to push a lot out of the commercial, and we do a lot of anything new homes, renovations, servicing, everything. No industrial really.
Yep. No, and still do the big commercial stuff as well. So.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's talk about what life was like before you joined the $1 Million Tradie Program. So how did things look?
Fucking hectic.
There's 5 of us. We're working out at Tim's house. We're making good money, but it wasn't sustainable, or we couldn't grow from that situation. It was just too busy. We're just working long days, weekends. We weren't home very much.
No.
We've both got really understanding wives, so we're lucky there.
Yeah.
Our workflows were always like, we'd be working 60, 70-hour weeks, and then they'd go for 2 months, and then we'd have nothing because no one was quoting, no one was chasing work. Yeah. So it was always a bit of a roller coaster. We knew we were good at doing the electrical work, but had no idea how to sort of run a business. And that's when I'd been seeing PT for a while, and sort of tried to talk Tim into it, and finally did it.
Talked to Phil one day, and the rest is history.
Yep. Crusher Phil.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the changes you guys made. So what are the biggest changes you've made over the last period of time?
Yes, this was a hard one. Made so many changes since joining PT. Really, the earlier ones that were massive was Phil got us to get a estimator and an office manager, and like we sort of ummed and ahed about that, thinking like how can we justify for ages, way too long. Justifying like how we're going to pay those wages when we already do all that stuff, and we finally did that, and we thought, if we get an estimator, like I do all the estimating and I do all the work, like what's he going to do? But it's like we got him, and it just created this fucking vacuum, I guess, where he was just flat stick from the start, and we almost need 2 estimators now. It's at that point, like it just kept going. Office manager, like I never really did any of that stuff, so it didn't affect me. But I think
I don't know how I did it before. Like she's tapped out now, and I'm like, I used to do all of that, and I don't know.
And you're still tapped out yourself.
Still tapped out. Yeah. So
that was sort of that was the early days. But I think the biggest thing we've done since joining PT was probably end of last year, when it was something Phil said, and we're like getting in each other's way because we're both the boss, and there wasn't really a boss, and we're sort of doing a bit of everything and nothing really well, but a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So we sat down and we said, let's define all the roles for all our managers, and so we sort of said, right, I'll be the boss, because that was just natural. And then we wrote out job descriptions for everyone and who will be responsible for what. And then we sat down, did all those, discussed it with each of them as well. We sort of said, like, what do you think you do? And we discussed it all before we said, here's your new job description. Around that, we then did KPIs for everyone. Then off that, we did deliverables. So every week, each of our managers has a spreadsheet that they fill in with key deliverables. So Tim, he's BDM, so it's how many leads are coming in, how many new clients he's met with. Nick does the estimating, so how many quotes he's done, how many were commercial, how many servicing, what the value is. Then he's how many quotes he's got on the book. So then if that's low, it's sort of like, Tim, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And Holly, where's all the money? Is the money coming in? Who's not paying?
And then
and then
is
the
like-
operations manager, yeah, he sort of, if he pushes out any invoice that's under 40% GP, he has to write it in as deliverables, and we discuss it as a crew, just to work out what went wrong. Was it priced wrong? Was it wrong staff or whatever, and just try and learn from those mistakes. That's those meetings have made a massive difference, because now we can see when if there's no pricing coming in or whatever, we're like, oh fuck, there's going to be a hole soon, or
instead of how it was before, like we'd be like, fuck, we've got no work, or fuck, we've got no pricing. Now we're like, every week, we're like, well, we're not going to have anything in a month, so let's do something about it now.
For instance, he went to Aussie the other week for 2 weeks, and he come back, and sure enough, the estimator's pricing list was really small. Said to Tim, what's going on here? Sure enough, by the end of the day, the estimator was like, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything. So.
Oh,
fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that Tim's been massive on lately, probably last 4 or 5 months, is working on the culture of the team. And there's another thing we've learnt from here, that how big culture is and how important it is. So done a team alignment day. He's been doing like a sort of a 20s, but we've sort of changed it up a bit.
Yeah.
And got the social club going. It seems to be working.
You've done some awesome stuff with culture. I think you're underselling that a little bit.
Yeah, so I think the thing I said the other day, I think, was like being a good bugger and being a good boss is one thing, but like actually caring about your guys and showing them that you care, and like sitting down with them and like being like, what are your goals, like what's your career aspirations and all that stuff, and like writing it down and making a plan. Like the guys love it, Like I've had a few new guys start that are like worked for big corporates and things like that before, and they're like, fuck, you guys are like unreal, like for a smallish company, like you're sort of like next level on that stuff. So it's pretty cool to hear that. We did our team alignment day, and all the boys were like,
the lady that ran it was she was
blown away with what we had. So pretty cool to hear that from all of them. So,
killer.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. So what have been the results of the changes that you've made for you guys, for business and for family as well?
So when we started, I think we used to get excited about a 100K month. Now we're averaging 330. We had a 420 a couple months back. So turnover's changed massively.
And we're working less to get that as well, which is
like
crazy.
I work sort of 40, 45 hours now, like not like I used to. It seems. We set a goal of turning over 4 mil this year, with 30% GP, which seems a bit low, but we do a bit of commercial work, and we're well on track to get that, so which is cool. But our biggest change for me personally is confidence. If you said 2 years ago having 30 or 40 staff, I would have said no fucking way. Like I'm quite a stressed person, but now those sort of numbers excite me. I'm way less stressed now with 16 guys than I was with 5. Way less stressed.
So good.
Yeah. So that's allowed us to do things that we wouldn't have done before, because we're probably too worried that if we left work for a few hours or a week or whatever, we'd
fall apart. And yesterday when we left, we just packed up. See you guys next Monday. Good luck. And didn't like. I know that it's sweet. Like you don't even have to worry about it.
But before we would have planned that for weeks, and I would have been worried about it. I've been
set it up so well that they couldn't fail, and now it's just like it'll just happen. So.
And we've been doing a bit of extra shit out. Like he goes on a few holidays, and we've been coaching kids rugby on the Tuesday night, and taking a game on a Thursday, and Tim's taking swimming lessons, which is cool.
My daughter's swimming lessons.
Oh, that's what he keeps saying.
Oh, that's funny. Throw him under the bus here.
Yeah.
Well, we're still unsure if it's actually her or not.
That's right. Yeah. Jury's out on that one. Yeah. Okay. Did you have anything to add to that, Tim?
No, not well. It's just way better now, right? Like it's just like I'm a pretty cruisy guy as it is, but like the business feels like a business now. It's not a pain in the ass and like a just hectic all the time. Like you can, like we said, walk away from it and know that it's going to be fine. And like I had 10 days in Aussie, came back for a day. Spent last weekend in Auckland for the All Blacks. Came back for Monday, Tuesday, and then boardroom yesterday and here. So I've only worked like 3 days in the whole month or something. So, and
That still ended us. Ended us a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that's killer. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's talk mindset, because you guys I'm really proud of what you've done. I mean, you make a real contribution in boardroom as well, which 2 years ago would have been like not a thing at all.
No.
Yeah.
So what are the mindset changes that you've had to make and that you've gone through?
Yeah, so we wrote these down. I think we talked about them on the thing the other day. But one massive one was like you can't do everything forever. Like you have to eventually like give it up or it'll fall apart. So that was huge. And letting go of control of the business, but not just like getting someone to do something and then checking it off. Like saying do that and like finish it and the outcome of it. A massive one as well, which we tell people in here when we're having chats about hiring earlier, and we need to take our own medicine and do it ourselves sometimes. But yeah, definitely hire staff you need earlier. Massive one as well is culture. Culture is everything. Like we knew that we were, like we were good bosses and the guys like working for us, but now we're really like hammering it. And it's if the guys are happy, the rest of it just happens, eh? And then keep growing or die. That's a huge.
That's a Phil Smith down there.
Yeah.
Which is so we're excited about the growth over the next
best
while.
is yet to come, I reckon.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Love it, guys. Great work. Team, if you've got questions for Tim and Dylan, love to hear. So, Damo, if there's some guys, some of the Onnies, if you've got a question, just write a question into the chat, and Damo will unmute you.
We'll back it up with
What's that, mate?
David DeRay. We'll back it up with him. Jump on,
David,
mate.
in there, get in there, buddy.
Are you ever worried about everything you've created folding? And how do you safeguard that to continue going in the same trajectory you're on?
I used to have a bit of a mindset like that, like worry about what could happen, but old mate here is pretty good at, he's very different to that. He's always got a glass half full mentality, and he always sort of pushes me in that right direction when I start thinking stupid things, I guess.
Yeah.
How have we safeguarded that?
I think another big part of what I do is like client nurture, so going out and seeing your clients and like making sure they're happy and doing that. Like, I mean, why would they go out? Like you've got that good relationship. We're like really good mates with a lot of our builders. Like go to their birthday, not just like workmates. We're like actually mates. Like
Go to swimming lessons as well.
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of it. I don't know. I'm not worried about.
He worries about nothing though.
Yeah, true. But,
But you're doing all the stuff like building a great culture.
Yeah.
You've got the time to work on the stuff that's actually going to grow the business forward. I think that's a huge thing. Once you create capacity and time, you're actually working on stuff that's going to improve the business. That fear goes away.
His role, he's pretty much doing systems and PT is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of his time now. So, which is good. We're lucky that we've got that sort of capacity.
There's no luck about it.
Well, yeah.
Honestly, it's not luck. Let's hear from Dean.
Hey guys, how are you?
Okay,
Come right up close, Dean.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Good.
Perfect.
Hey, look, guys, I love. I'm a really big believer in culture. It's actually I love the cultural thing because it's what spins my wheels in my business. And I'd just like to know a wee bit more about what you do when you sit down with your boys and you build that plan. They tell you your goals. What does that sort of plan look like? Have you got a bit of a pattern or a bit of a process you go through?
yeah. So a lot of the younger guys, their goal is sort of to buy a house.
Right.
So instead of just having a goal of buying a house, I'm like, what house do you want? Where is it? How many rooms is it? And they write all this stuff down and like, right, I need this much of a deposit. Okay, when are you going to get that? And then break that back into, by the end, next time we catch up, you need to have 10 grand in the bank or that sort of thing.
Right,
That's a real easy way to describe it.
So it's a bit of life skills as well. It's not just on the tools or
it's not
or
just
whatever,
work, not just work stuff. Yeah,
cool.
It's none of that's about work. That stuff.
Some of
Yeah.
it's about work. Like if a lot, especially the apprentices, they like want to
get their ticket.
do certain on jobs or whatever, and then we'll like write them down and instead of just one might say, I need to do my switchboards, and I say, well, don't just tell me you need to do switchboards. You need to remind your manager, and when you're on site with the tradie, be like, I need to do, like sort of like pushing them a little bit rather than just writing down, oh yeah, John wants to do switchboards. Like,
Nice.
that doesn't really help. It's
Killer.
Cool.
Good question, Dean. Great question. Do you have any more questions online, Damo?
Yeah, Ryan, jump in, mate.
Ryan.
Yeah, guys, what do you reckon was the most crucial system that you implemented to get such good growth?
Simpro.
Oh yeah, I don't think we mentioned that. So, yeah, that was massive. PT system that you've made. Accounts receivable was big because before we had that, we just sort of, I think we showed someone in PT and they're like, what is this 230-day outstanding invoice? Like, we just never, it just
didn't look at it.
And now Holly, has a system that she follows and that sort of stuff doesn't happen now. Yeah.
Yeah, first rule in business, get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we never worried about it. I know that sounds stupid, but
our hiring process is pretty
that's epic as well.
Epic as well.
Yeah, that's a centerpiece of any good business.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, cool. One more question.
How and when did you guys decide out of the two of you who was going to be the boss?
Oh mate, that was already decided.
What does that mean?
So
The question is, how did you decide who's going to be boss? And then a follow-up question for the Honeys, because the Honeys can't hear, if you're not at the mic, is what does that mean in terms of who's the boss?
So Dylan's the general manager.
Yeah.
So all of our ops manager, estimator, office manager, and servicing manager report to him, and I sort of sit on the side as a BDM, sort of report to him as well, and then
Yeah, he does.
as a director he reports to me. So big roundabout circle. I'm actually the boss.
No, so how did we decide that?
It's just, I guess it's just how we've worked together for
12 years.
Yeah. And I started as Dylan's apprentice. I'd already done 3.5 years, so he didn't teach me much, but actually he didn't teach me fuck all. But yeah, so and that's just how we've yeah, exactly, yeah, and that's just when we've gone from that company we started at, and we followed it. I went overseas for a bit, came back, and then we went to another company together, and then
I was your boss there, eh?
Yeah, you're the boss there, and then
So you're the boss.
Yeah, he's the boss. Yeah,
That's a really, really important point in a partnership.
it's huge. Yeah,
There's a rule in management, which you get taught at first year management in university. It's basically all you need. Unity of command. There can only be one boss, because if you've got a partner and you've got two kind of sort of bosses, it's a cluster.
That was a major part of what that change we made in last year was. We were sort of both doing a little bit of everything, and neither of us were responsible for anything. Yeah.
So it's about who's responsible.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. Yeah. But you're both shareholders. That's a completely different thing. You split the profits.
yeah.
But you can have a different role as an employee. Yeah. Killer. Okay. Well, do we have one more question or not? All good.
Yeah, we've got a question from the Honeys. So, Mark Fawcett, mate, do you want to unmute?
G'day guys, how you going?
Good mate.
Good mate, how are you?
Yeah, good. Just a little bit of personal, but no one in the room will hear this, which is good. You're
They
talking
can all
about,
hear you.
No, I was kidding. Anyway, one point, you're talking about 30% profit you're looking at for the next financial year, 4 mil turnover, 1.2 mil profit. That's some pretty serious profit there.
Gross profit.
That's in preface, gross. Okay. All right. Well, that's, how did you come up with that figure? Just curious.
I was over the Christmas break, I just sort of sat there and wrote some numbers down and wrote a number that I thought was quite big, and yeah, I don't know, just send a picture to Tim and said, what do you reckon? And now that's printed on the wall at my desk, so I see it every time I walk past it. Yeah, I think that helped. That was pretty cool as well, seeing that. So every time I'm invoicing and I'm not quite at that target, I'm like, oh, fuck, what can I squeeze out here? Can I squeeze a bit more here? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Good stuff.
Right, so tonight's party, is it live?
We'll get you on a live
Mate,
stream.
we would love to have you here, Mark. Why you need to get over here, buddy?
No, I'm just going to have a drink tonight and I'm going to write down 40% profit. I love it. Thank you.
Happy days. All right. Team, great work, guys. Let's show the lads some love. 3, 2, 1.